Okay, so just doing a bit of a twist on this. Calls for 10.7 mash liquor. I'm using 11 litres, I just rounded up, and I'm going to be using 22 litres, so I'm using about 0.4 litres more water than I was told to, but I put a couple of extra grams of grain in there anyway. This time what I've done, I poured 2 litres of boiling water into the mash tun to preheat it, to kind of warm it up before I put the sparge water in, which I'm going to dump in this time rather than pour in, because I lost so much temperature last time. And grains in that bucket there. Currently up to 74.9, or about 78. I'm going to drop it in and see what temperature we have. Okay, I'm up to 78.7, but I'm going to dump that in anyway and put it back when I forget. Okay, so we've got the mash in there. Just waiting to see what temperature that comes back up to. I will come back in a minute when that has got the temperature. Okay, I'm a little bit over, about 4.5 degrees over. So I'm going to add some cold water. Going up even more, look. I'm going to add some cold water in and try and get that down to about 67, 68 degrees C. I'll take 66.9 if I'm honest. I'm happy with that. So that is now closed. I'm just going to wrap a blanket around it, and I'm going to put 22 litres into the boiler. So that should be about ready for batch sparging by the time the timer goes off, which I'm doing a 90-minute mash. Just collecting off second runnings. Just doing a batch sparge today. I've already put the 9 or so litres of first runnings into the boiler, which is getting up to about 85 degrees or so. And we'll come back later. Okay, rolling boil, first stop's added. They've been there for 80 minutes. And got about 5 litres worth there to put back in later on in the boil. Incidentally, the mash, put 22 litres into the mash tun for sparging, left that in there for 20 minutes, then drained. All in all, taken about 30 litres in total. So counting for 6 or 7 litres to be taken off in the boil. Yeah, we'll just come back later when that's ready. Okay, about 20 minutes into the boil, I have added about 4 more litres into there, so it took a few minutes for it to get back up to temperature. I'm not too concerned about that. I skimmed most of the proteins off the top when it first started coming to the boil, so I'm not too worried about a boil over now. About another hour to go before I add the next hops. Okay, 25 minutes to go until I put the aroma hops in and the Irish moss. I've added the last little bit of the wort into there as well, so reducing down nicely. We will be back. By the way, the smell of the hops off here is lovely. I love the smell of Golding's hops, it's fantastic. Yeah, another 25 minutes, I'll add the rest of the stuff in, and then we'll cool down. Okay, so I've now put the wort chiller into the boiler. It's been sitting in steriliser anyway, but put it in there just to give it an extra bit of sterilisation. As you see, the tree from the tap, hose from the tap, which is just outside the window, goes in, water comes out into there, to the sink. I will drain some of that first drains off into a fermenting bucket for hot water for cleaning. But now, in here I've got some Styrian Golden hops and Irish moss. Just going to go into the brew there. It's all gone. And get my mash paddle. Oh no, they've pretty much got soaked straight in. I thought I was going to have to stir them, but no, they've it's soaked those up nicely. So yeah, 10 more minutes and we're ready to cool. Okay, well I just thought I'd show you as well quickly. That's where I'm going to drain off the wort into that bucket there for fermenting. Cooler, as I say, it comes from that hose up into there, comes out down that through into that hose, and that'll capture all my hot water for cleaning my equipment with. Just thought I'd show you that. I mean, it looks like quite a vicious little setup really for what it actually is. But yeah, I will be back later. Okay, so the chiller is on. I will come back to you once I have chilled down the wort. Okay, so I've been running the chiller now for about 7 or 8 minutes. It is climbing still. It's obviously still quite warm in there. So yeah, so I'm still going to have to keep going with that. Try and do this one-handed. Try not to just hit the bazooka bit at the bottom. Don't want to break that. So I've got my thermometer temperature in there. So what's comes out quite warm once you stir it. Unless you stir it around, you just get a cold pocket and it doesn't really cool it properly. So now we're coming down to 41. Not done bad to cool it this quickly. Give it another stir. So yeah, I will keep doing this for another 10-15 minutes, looking for about 20 degrees. Okay, so over to 21.1 there. I'm aiming for 20, so well, I'll change to 21. Just down a bit. There we go, 21. 20.9. Right, so just going quickly. It's just getting quite dark out here now. Turn off the top. Okay, we're down to 20.6 there. And we'll just disconnect all the chiller and I'll be back soon. Okay, just draining off wort now. Excuse me. Now this shouldn't take too long. I'll soon be able to take in fact I will take a gravity reading now. Well, I can. This is all sterilised. I'll be back in 1 second. Okay, there's a few bubbles at the top of there, but you can see probably about 1036, maybe 1038. Drained off quite a bit of the wort. See, it's not going to be a really dark beer. There we go. Just going to have to try and drain off what's left in there now. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, let's have a look and see where we finished. I'm pretty much calling that 1038. A bit lower than I expected, but not to worry, that's fine. In terms of volume, well, there's a 23 litre mark, probably finished 22 litres. This is not too bad, I'm not too fussed about that. So, next up it's the yeast. Okay. On further inspection, it's actually sitting kind of between the 1038 and 1040, so I would call that 1039 starting gravity, and I've just aerated the wort a bit. And I'm just now pitching the yeast really. I would ideally have liked to rehydrate it first, but I'm in a bit push for time today. That should be fine. Okay, so now all that's left to do is put the airlock on and take it upstairs. Okay, so that's upstairs, and now we deal with the aftermath and the shit. And here, you can't really see that, and all this. Fun. Happy brewing.